Hello, my badass boys and badass babes. It is your keeper of the golden rose, Virgo the Vixen. And as always, hit your likes and subscribe buttons wherever they're at. Today, I want to wish everyone who celebrates Cinco de Mayo a happy Cinco de Mayo. In a few more days, the U.S. as a whole is going to be celebrating this wonderful holiday. Now, as Americans, we don't need a holiday that's just strictly to America, okay? We got St. Patrick's Day, which comes from Ireland. We got, let me see, what is it called from Germany? That holiday where they get drunk. Is it Thursday? No, it's not Thursday. What is it? Oh, yeah, Oktoberfest, where, they have fun. And in this case, Cinco de Mayo comes from Mexico. As Americans, if you have a holiday from whatever country and it involves drinking and having fun, by God, as Americans, we are going to celebrate it. So anyways, enough with a little history story. I want to talk to you about an incident that happened on a Cinco de Mayo that I've experienced. Now, for the record, I know what some of you are thinking. This is going to be like my St. Patrick's Day video where I'm checking off an item off the bucket list, maybe to have sex with a Mexican on Cinco de Mayo. And for the record, I've already done that. I've been married. My husband, let's just say, was from a country south of the U.S., all right? So imagine that. A man who was from south of the U.S. marries a woman whose ancestry comes from east of Germany, okay? And now you know why my daughter is the way she is. Ava, that's Ava for you. Imagine those two cultures blending together, so that explains my Spanish little chihuahua, Ava. Anyways. On this story, you have to understand something. I have to give this disclaimer for the story. This is the disclaimer. I don't recall the full story. This was told to me through various stories from my friends and from shady memories I have of that night. Let me just set that picture to begin with. Friends had to tell me what I did, and I tried to piece it to kind of blend it with kind of fuzzy images of what I had to do that night, or did that night. So here's what happened. It was a few years after my husband had his accident, and I was acquitted for it. For the record, I was acquitted. And so, hey, Cinco de Mayo comes around. I love to party like the next girl. So, hey, let's go have some fun. Now, I want to give a disclaimer, another disclaimer. This story is going to have the phrase a lot. Then we started drinking tequila. All right. Keep that phrase in mind. Then we started drinking tequila. For the record, I was raised on Russian vodka. All right. My grandmother, if I had a problem, cure was Russian vodka. So I grew up on Russian vodka. I drank Russian vodka. All right. I'm used to that stuff. Just because you're tolerant or almost practically build up a resistance to one alcohol does not necessarily mean that resistance or that immunity or whatever you want to call it can transfer to another, because every human, their body type is different and how they handle certain alcohols is different. And I learned the hard way. I could drink Russian vodka as water because sometimes I do. You can't tell the difference, from being raised on it. Versus tequila. Okay, tequila is a monster if you are not used to it. And that is how I'm going to start the night off. Then we started drinking tequila. And we were not slowly, having like something kind of a mixed drink with tequila in it. No, we were pounding straight shots of it. Now, I can't remember how many shots I had, but I do know I was having a good time because I'm thinking, hey, this is not bad. My husband, got me. We had a shot here or there. I'm thinking, hey, I can handle my alcohol. I was wrong. All right, so we started drinking tequila. Nothing, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing surprising, nothing big, right? So we're doing a little bar here, a little bar there, a shot here, kind of doing the pub crawl, bar bash, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, we're having fun. And I think it was maybe about my 8th or 10th shot of tequila. Again, most of this is kind of furry and blacked out, or fuzzy, I should say, not furry. Even though there will be some furry parts in here, I just don't recall. But I do remember, never mind, I'll save that for last. Anyways, so, apparently I was having fun that night. And here I'm trying to, and apparently, and this is the part where my friends start to interject pieces of the night. You see, the last thing I remember, some guy came in wearing this gigantic sombrero. Now, why am I telling you this? Because that's going to play a role towards the end of the video. So there's this guy with this gigantic sombrero. And I got to give him credit. I mean, it was good. I mean, he looked good in it. I mean, the hat. I mean, damn, this guy obviously spent a good chunk of change on the sombrero. After that, completely blacked out. And I'm going off hearsay. And like I said, the fuzzy memory parts here. All right. So apparently, I am drunk. I am totally blitzed. I am blacked out drunk. I have never been this bad since the day my husband accidentally died. All right? God rest his soul. Anyways, here's what happened next. According to my friends, like I said, I can't testify to this, but according to my friends, I start to try to speak in Spanish. That's not good. You see, for the record, my Spanish, I hate to say it, is limited to the Taco Bell menu. Burrito, gordita, chihuahua, things of that nature. I can't form a sentence. I can barely understand it, okay? And here I'm trying to speak Spanish. And after that, if that wasn't bad enough, I am trying to sing in karaoke in Spanish. All right, you have to understand something. I was trying to sing Gloria by, Laura Branigan in Spanish. And I thought the crowd was loving it. I thought this moment the crowd was loving it. Turned out the crowd was pissing their pants laughing because I was that horrible. Okay, again, then we started the night by drinking tequila. Apparently, I decided to have fun to have a few more shots. So, hey, let's blur that memory even further. So, between, the guy with the sombrero, my friends telling me that I was having fun trying to speak Spanish, then sing in Spanish to the song Gloria by Laura Branigan at a karaoke, and it was not going well for me, but the whole audience was pissing their pants laughing because how horrible I was. Now, I would like to tell you that my friends took me home. I would like to tell you my friends were good friends. No, they weren't. They were assholes. What did they do? You will ask. That makes them assholes. They allowed me to disappear on them that night. And what I mean by let me disappear is they took off first and left me all alone because they didn't want to be embarrassed by me anymore, which, to be fair, I can't blame them. So, that night, I apparently have some really fun drinking more tequila the next afternoon. Not the next morning, but the next afternoon around 3:30-ish, somewhere in there. Because I remember distinctly seeing a 3 somewhere on the clock dial at that moment. And the sun was up, and I know it wasn't morning because it was a little bit past the normal mark, so I knew it was in the afternoon somewhere. And here's the problem. I wake up in some stranger's bed. Okay, this is not the first time this has happened, but not under these circumstances. And off in the corner, there is that giant sombrero that guy was wearing that night. And I'm looking around thinking, oh my God, I did this little guy here. It's like, oh my Lord. Turned out, nope. He was nowhere near to be found. However, what was near to be found was a man with more chest hairs than Chewbacca. This is where the furry part comes in. All right, I made it with this dude. I mean, I don't know how the hell I got hooked up with this guy, but what can I say? Olay. He was happy with my services or happy with last night's event. I mean, for some odd reason, he actually was pretty cool. He was a nice guy, I actually had a conversation with a guy afterwards. This is not normal for me. Normally, I would leave or he would leave after he pays me, the usual. But anyways, we decided to have this nice conversation, and comes out, he was a nice guy. He lived in another city, and he was just, touring around, had some fun. I don't know if I did or not, but apparently he did, because he was very happy. He tells me he fills in a little bit more of the night. He says that, he felt sorry for me. He bought me a shot of tequila. I told him my story about how my husband accidentally died, and he felt sorry for me. I felt sorry for him. I don't know why, but apparently I did. And here, while talking to him, somehow I acquired the sombrero from the other guy. Now, I don't know how I acquired the sombrero. That part was never told to me. But here I am with the sombrero on while talking to this guy. I guess, he had a soft spot for drunken women. Either way, we go back to his room. I'll skip the nasty X-rated parts, but apparently I was wearing the sombrero during the, how can we say, the intimate moments that we were with. And he was getting more aroused by it. I don't know what it was that he was saying, because I was so blacked out drunk. But what I can tell you this is, he was happy with the results. Again, I don't know what happened that night. All I know is that he told me he was happy. I was wearing the sombrero during the intimate moments. And basically, that's how the kind of the story ends. With me with this guy who I have never seen again, because it was a one-night affair. I still have the sombrero somewhere packed in the storage, how can I say this, the storage closet. And what can I give you for life lesson? Tequila is a monster, okay? Just because you are immune, or should I say have a high resistance to alcohol, does not necessarily mean your body will tolerate this. So, this Cinco de Mayo, my advice to you, be smart, space out your drinks with water, and if you're friends who, and also, if you're friends with someone who has had too much to drink, don't be an asshole. Make sure they get home, all right? Well, anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this little story about me and Cinco de Mayo. So my only question is, who is your vixen, and bye-bye.